Good evening and you're welcome to the consulting room. As usual, you have me, Mami Fakosa, every Monday at 8 p.m. Today we are going to talk about something that has become a very big problem in our country, and not just our country, but even in the developed countries. It looks like we've copied a lot of the things from the West, and even with the bad things that we know in our heart of hearts that they are not good, we continue copying them. So we are going to talk about health risks associated with sugar-sweetened beverages. Now, everywhere you go, every day you see a new bottle with some color and some fizzy drink in it, and children, adults, everybody, from babies, some as young as 2 months, they give their children these things. They don't even introduce their children to water first. They introduce them to these sweet beverages. So we are going to learn about these beverages and see whether it's good. Is it good? Is it bad? And if it's good, then maybe we'll get advice to continue. If it's not good, we might have more insight on it, and then we'll know whether we should discontinue, and if you are discontinuing, what else are we going to do to replace it? So you are welcome to the studio, Mr. Amwa.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure a lot of people know you to be Makion.
That's fine. So that's my middle name.
Yes. How are you? How has the day been? This is the second day of the week, but then the first working day. How has your week been so far?
It's been good. I mean, we have a program tomorrow,
okay,
which is a float we are doing to create awareness on.
By we, you mean you?
Advocating for health. So we have Advocating for Health as a coalition of institutions: University of Ghana, Ghana Public Health Association, Ghana NCD Alliance, and Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. We've come together to form this coalition to create awareness among all Ghanaians about the effects of these sugar-sweetened beverages. The other things we are doing with government, which we'll talk about in the course of our discussion. So in the course of today, we're moving up and down, make sure things are all set for us for our float tomorrow. Moving up and down, yes.
So where will the float be?
We are starting
if someone wants to join.
We are starting from Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Old Brass Spot.
Okay.
Then go through Adabraka, TUC, go through Ministries, get Parliament House, and end that circle. So that's the plan tomorrow. Okay. It's a busy day.
Yeah, it looks like. I hope the sun doesn't worry you too much, and the rains too doesn't worry you too much, because nowadays it just swings.
The rain is what we be, but for the sun we are good, because we're in Tamale.
Okay.
We're okay because we'll be dancing alongside the float. We'll be sharing flyers. We'll be showing people what they need to know about all of these things.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to a very exciting moment tomorrow.
Yeah, some of us, unfortunately, we cannot join you, but then we will learn a lot from you as you are here with us in the studio.
That is great.
Yes, so as usual, we have Cocoa Milk being the sponsors of the program, and it's a very healthy option. It's sugar-free, it's preservative-free, it's purely coconut-based milk. It's good for adults, children, it's good for everybody. You can get it in all the shops around. So once you go and you are looking for any milk that you want to add to your diet, especially for those of you who have stomach issues when you take the cow milk and the goat milk and all those other milks, the lactose milk. This one is lactose free, so you can take as much as you want, and it doesn't have any other sugar, so it's safe for today's discussion. As usual, because you know, Hope Channel and Consulting Room, we are dedicated to bringing you the best information concerning all issues that are about you. So as a point of information too, so on the 31st of December this year, that's the very last day of 2022, we'll be having a very big event at the National Theatre, and this is the Pella Fest. If you want to end the year on a very joyous note, we've been hearing a lot of bad music around, but then come and listen to authentic a cappella Adventist music. So we have some of the tickets here. We have the 70 CDs tickets, and it's for the regular tickets. It's 70 CDs for one. We have for a family of 5, we have 300. It's 300 cedis, and for the VIP it's 150 cedis. You can contact the studios of Hope Channel and you'd get your tickets for the event. We'll go for our very first break. When we come back, we'll go right into the discussion concerning sugar and beverages and sugar-sweetened beverages. Do well to stay with us.
Dairy-free coconut milk. Cocoa dairy-free coconut milk. It's a fully plant-based milk, non-curdling in tea or coffee, and it's a lovely treat with any breakfast beverage or meal. It contains calcium and vitamin D2 for strong teeth and bones, and vitamin B12 to help boost your blood for vitality. Cocoa is 100% vegetarian and is approved by the Vegetarian Society of UK. It's also lactose and dairy-free, which is good even for people with lactose intolerance. Cocoa, get one today. Cocoa dairy-free coconut milk. Nature's health at your doorstep. For bulk purchases, contact 027-444-0180. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA. Cocoa dairy-free coconut milk.
Yeah, welcome back to the consulting room here on Hope Channel. So today I have with me Mr. James Makion Amwa. He's part of the A4H, advocating for health,
yeah.
And he's the team lead
for Ghana Public Health Association.
Yes. So you are making a lot of noise about these beverages. It's on the market. That is what is available to us. Why are you saying they are sugar-sweetened beverages? Why do you call them that name?
So first of all, let me say that there are other options available, but what is readily available, that is what is almost anywhere you go,
and
you
it's
see them.
cheap too.
It's cheap, but we talk about we realize that it's also very expensive. We talk about that. So when we talk about sugar-sweetened beverages, I'm only talking about any beverage that we add sugar to it. Right? Okay. And if you check most of the labels, they don't simply write sugar. So people see molasses, corn syrup, sucrose, fructose, and people think, oh, this one has no sugar. But they are all different names, different forms of sugar that has been added. So any beverage you have that you add sugar to it becomes a sugar-sweetened beverage. So from soft drinks, these soda drinks, to energy drinks, to sports drinks, even when you do Milo or tea or coffee in your house, and you add sugar to it, it becomes a sugar-sweetened. Once you add sugar, it becomes sugar-sweetened beverage. Okay. Now we even have sweetened water.
Yes, I've seen. Yeah, they sell it in traffic a lot, and it's even fizzy a bit.
Exactly. So all of these comes under sugar-sweetened beverages, and these are the things we are going to talk about. Okay. Why, if you consume these things, it has a negative effect on your health. Okay. So if you want to know what we are talking about, take any drink, whether a soft drink, energy drink, they have so many of them. Even your normal tea you do, once you have sugar in it, and as I mentioned earlier, some of them don't have the name sugar boldly written on them. Some you see sucrose, molasses, they are all sugar that has been added to it. And so there's a need for you to watch out, because these are the things we are going to talk about. So that's what. So
you mentioned fructose and sucrose and the like. We have that in honey. Yes. So is any drink that they've added honey to, is it sugar-sweetened beverage?
So if you read more about it, honey in those drinks also adds up to becoming sugar-sweetened beverages.
So right now, are you trying to tell us that even the honey we add to our beverages, that one too might not be good?
You are sweetening it, are you not?
But so is it that all of them are not good, or some of them are not good?
So the point is this, and we'll go into the discussion now. The consumption of those things are not necessarily bad. Okay. Right? We're looking at regular consumption of these things. So I'll give an example to a friend. When someone has low sugar, the person goes into what we call hypoglycemia, and you give the person one of these drinks, the person revives, because it provides instant glucose into the body, the person revives. But this same thing, when you consume over and over again, has a negative effect on you, which can lead you to early grave or the other complications we'll speak about.
Okay. So why is it a problem? Because if it's really a problem, why do we have it on the market? And why is it a problem?
Why do you have on the market? The regulators can talk about it. But you see, if you take, let's say, a normal bottle of, let's say, so supposing this is one of these soft drinks, this is like 500 ml, but usually come in 300 and 30, good. An average soft drink has 10 to 13 teaspoons of sugar in it.
Really?
Yes.
How did you measure that?
So there's a lot of research done on it. So once you take a normal soft drinks, it has this amount of weight in it.
Okay. So we'll go for a very quick break, and we'll continue the show right after the break. Do well to stay with us.
Welcome to Hope Channel, and of course to your favorite program, Watch These Signs.
As long as you are not in that boundary, he will do all kinds of things to protect you so that you continue to move. There are times some things should have happened which should have crushed you to death, but because of the power of God, to give you extra more time so that you can consider the issues of eternity. From plug things
on the farm.
Verse 23.
Yes, and that was when the Pharisees came, then he made this statement. And that is the same response people give today. That the Sabbath law says, thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do this, don't touch this, don't go to market, don't. And so people use this text to tell you that even Jesus,
Dear friends, today we are sending you our prayer request during this hard time in Ukraine and the whole world. For many years, Hope Media Group has been transmitting the good news to our country as well as to our neighbors.
Today we're asking about for God's mercy and peace for millions of people to hear the three angels' message. Also, we pray about the power of Holy Spirit for 10,000 existing students of online Bible school to continue their studies, and for many more students to join us in the future.
We pray for 100,000 radio listeners to open their heart for our Lord. We also pray for our dreams about expanding the broadcasting network.
Thank you for being with us in this global request to God.
We are ADRA, a global community of people helping people. Our work reaches women, children, and men in need, in communities big and small around the world, in challenging times and rewarding times. We serve humanity, so all may live as God intended, with justice, compassion, and love. Learn more about us and get involved. ADRA.
Hi, do you know that alcohol is the most abused drug on earth? Do you also know that smoking a cigarette may take 11 minutes of your lifespan? Do you have someone who is psychologically derailed or mentally ill? Do you know that 1 out of 4 women is abused daily? Do you know that now it's common for children under 12 years to smoke and drink? Do you know someone who is addicted and is struggling to overcome addiction? Then there's a good news. The Wounds of the Heart is bringing you qualified practitioners, personnel who understand certain situations. We meet them in their offices, at their homes, at their comfort zone, and right here on our studios. Make a date with me this and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. right here on Hope Channel.
Welcome back to the consulting room. Today we are talking about all the beverages around that have sugar or its form in any of its forms in it, be it corn syrups, fructose, sugar itself that some people put on it, molasses, and all the rest. Maltose. No, maltose is not. My science but anyway, so we were talking about why it is a problem. Yes, before we went on the break. So why is it a problem?
So I was saying that consuming these things, you are adding more glucose into your body, more than the body needs. So when we eat a normal food, say rice, with stew, yam, fufu, banku, they supply the body with the glucose the body needs. By consuming these things, you are adding more glucose into your body, which the body doesn't need. The difference between this and the food we eat is that the body will digest the food we eat, absorb what it needs, and the rest will come out. But this, once it gets into the body, it's absorbed straight into the body because it's already processed and it's in the form of the glucose or sugar, yes. So it's a problem because consuming these things, you build up more glucose in your body, which gives you so many other problems in the body. So for example, we can start the discussion with the issue of overweight and obesity. I mean, generally for all those who've gone through medical training or nursing or any other health, realize that obesity, diabetes are a major cause of all the non-communicable diseases we find in the world. And non-communicable diseases is now killing about 80% of people, 80% of those who die out of non-communicable disease than the other diseases like the infectious diseases. Okay. Because now there's science to deal with infections. So once give exactly. So why will we continue to consume these things? What will cause us to become overweight or obese and then predisposed to all the complications? And now if you check the recent studies, children, even those under age 5, about 8% of them are overweight or obese. That's a study in Ghana.
In Ghana, yes. It's this concern about overweight children. I actually learned about it somewhere second year or first year in medical school, and it was then a problem in the States and in the West. And because
now there's globalization, so we are doing all that they do. All right.
You know, there are some, we keep on preaching that we should do exclusive breastfeeding, and the women think that because we say men money, so they don't give water, but then they start giving the children Fanta, like some of these drinks, because you said we shouldn't give water. And so even before the child knows the taste of water, they've developed a liking to the taste of these.
So by consuming these things, you are building excess calories in your body, which the body doesn't. So the body will still store it in other places, then become obese or overweight. And if you have children under 5 years becoming obese, then you know that these children will have problems as they grow. So then they get disposed to diabetes, which is also a major problem we are fighting with in the world. Even today is the World Diabetes Day. Just go Google, check the records. People who are dying from type 2 diabetes because of their lifestyle. All right. So consuming these sugary drinks, one, it leads to obesity and overweight, which leads to so many non-communicable diseases like heart attack and all of those things. And it will kill you quicker than when you should get any other flu or any other infection, because now there's antibiotics to take care of those ones. But these ones, it gets you and then you are gone. They used to see age 70,
the
80,
elderly people get.
But now you are seeing 23, 30, 33. All of them are dying from these things, right? So that's obesity, overweight, now diabetes. And now type 2 diabetes is the commonest of diabetes, right? Because it's lifestyle. So in addition to consuming these things, people hardly exercise now. People hardly eat food that has fiber in them. People are not active anymore, so they're storing more glucose.
They don't even know the food that has fiber.
Exactly. Because now everything is processed.
Yeah.
Good. So they eat all of those and then they get type 2 diabetes. And then it affects almost all other organs in the body. You can affect your eye, you go blind. So people have their legs amputated because of excess sugar they have in their body. So if someone tells you consuming these things will affect you, then you should know that one, apart from overweight, obesity, now diabetes type 2 is also a problem. Then we can also look at even fertility. So studies show that for men who consume a lot of these things, it affects the movement of their sperms. Right? So if the sperms are not moving right and they are a bit sluggish and slow, then you know that they cannot move faster
Do they add sugar to beer?
So when you talk about sugar-sweetened beverages, we don't add alcohol to it because that is a problem.
No. Do they add sugar to beer? Do they intentionally add sugar to beer?
When they are brewing
I
the
know
beer.
one of my friends is watching this, and I need like the expert to tell me if they add sugar to the beer.
I may have to find out from it may vary from product to product. But there are some alcoholic drinks that are sweetened with sugar.
Okay.
Some of them are there.
So it can affect the motility of their sperms.
Yes,
okay.
it does.
So for all those who know themselves and are listening to me, you.
So a lot of these fertility issues that we hear about will be all because of all these things.
At first we used to say fertility issues, it was only women that were they had to go to the hospital. Now you do semen analysis for a lot of men, and they are having big time issues with their semen.
Some sperms with big head, sperms with short tail, and those who are sluggish because they've taken more of these sugar drinks and so affect the movement of the sperm, so you cannot even fertilize the egg. It leads to so many fertility issues. Now let's talk about dental problems. Now, we see people with so many dental caries, right? Holes within their teeth. And some of them, it digs so deep into the gum, cause infection. And there's a picture I saw by a friend. My friend works at maxillofacial surgery. Showed me a picture of someone who had an infection of the gum and how the face is swollen. It started with a tooth, what we call the caca, right? That's a hole in the teeth. That's a small one. Now, it leads to all of these infections. When you consume these sugar drinks, most of them are acidic in nature. So it wears the enamel, the white part of our teeth. And you know bacteria thrive very well in places that has a lot of moist and it's sweet. So we're consuming a lot of these things. Bacteria start working on them and they make holes on our teeth. And if you have a problem with your teeth, then you know that it can also lead to other problems. So we talk about these things because there's real evidence to suggest that by consuming these sugar drinks, you expose yourself to all of these things. We can even talk about your bone density. The more you consume this, you know, those who consume these sugar drinks, one thing is that they don't eat well. Because you drink these things, it doesn't satisfy you, all right, but you don't, for example, someone says, I'm going for lunch. They'll start filling their bellies with a bottle of a soft drink or any sugar-sweetened beverage before they go eat their food.
Some people cannot eat without having a bottle of soft drink in addition to their food.
So they fill their tummy. So instead of them to eat the real food, say the yam or the rice, they don't eat much of that because their tummies are already...
They'll drink the fizzy drink.
Exactly.
I don't want to mention names before they come and beat me up.
You don't have to. So once they do that...
No, but sometimes we have to. I think sometimes we just have to, because it's public education.
On a different platform could have done it, but on a TV it may be a problem. They may sue you.
Why would they sue you?
That's from their business. So the point is that when you take all of these things, so they don't eat well. So the body doesn't get the nutrients it needs, right? And it affects so the calcium that you need from your food that you are supposed to get, you don't get them. Then affects your bone density. You start having problems within your... So these are some of the things that, in gout, for example, where you have the consuming these things leads to inflammation of the joint. Usually your toe, now can we have it on all your joints. There's an association between consuming sugar-sweetened beverages and gout. Right? So if I tell you that it is wrong to consume them because it affects your health, then you can agree with me that if all of these things are associated with sugar-sweetened beverages, then indeed there's a problem with that.
So aside the public education that A4H is doing. Are you doing anything in terms of policy making? Because, you know, to let them ban anything coming into this country, or to make sure that the production of these things are reduced, it has to be a form of policy, so that when you go against it, you are actually breaking the laws of the country. Is there any form of advocacy in that the policy making phase?
So in the first place, this is a problem globally. WHO is aware. There are documents on it we've read. World Bank is also aware. It's giving money to people to work on, bring the evidence, right? If you check other countries, too many things are being done to ensure that they protect the people.
Yes.
They haven't banned it. What I said, they in themselves are not a problem. If you consume once a while, so for example, someone who consumes it once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a while, he drinks those things. The risk is reduced than someone who consistently takes those. So someone tells you, for me, if I go for lunch and I don't take a soft drink, my food will not digest. So I must add. So it means every day they are adding up to. I forget to mention the issue of energy drinks.
Oh yeah.
Now people don't eat at all. They don't eat.
Especially those who do the manual work, the tractor drivers, the maids, the masons.
Yes.
They take it and they know the different types. When you add this one to this one, it will make you work. And then anyway.
So there are people who even work in offices now who say they don't have time to go for lunch because they have a lot of things to do. So they buy these energy drinks and consume them. Apart from this adding up to the sugar in your body, it affects you. You can get ulcer from it. Right? So the world is aware, and things are being done in other countries, which Ghana must also do same.
But that was what I was asking about. What are you helping Ghana do in that field?
So the first thing is that we must create the awareness.
Okay.
For you and I and all those around us to know that consuming these things is bad. So you will protect yourself by not buying them or not consuming as much as you will. Once you know this, then you will also give it to your child, because most of these things can contain caffeine, which can be very addictive. So once you start giving to your child at age 2, they go to school, it's always in their bag. They come back home, they start drinking them. They go to church, they share it at church. They go for programs, they give it out. The child now becomes addicted to it and then start drinking it. And then the health risk in this child will keep on increasing. So we are creating that awareness for you, for parents and others to get to know about it. Then there's the other side of it, which is legislation, where in other countries like Mexico, in Colombia, for example, in UK, they have instituted tax on these sugar-sweetened beverages.
Yeah.
The purpose of this tax is to make it more expensive, so that if a bottle of, let's say, if a bottle of water is around, this one we may get like 150 pesos. And now you can, as a sugar-sweetened beverage will cost 7 cedis, 8 cedis, or even 5 Ghana cedis. People will not buy that much. Someone may say, they will still buy anyway, but the quantity that they will buy will reduce because they don't have much money to spend on these things. So these are the two things that we are working on. Creating awareness, that's why we're doing a float tomorrow. We are also engaging policymakers to see how we can also have a tax component on these sugar-sweetened beverages.
No, I hope you make some strides in the effort you are putting in meeting the policymakers, because, well,
but for
this
me,
is Ghana.
The one I'm very proud of is to create the awareness. So if you know, and you don't consume, and others also know they don't consume, and if all Ghanaians don't consume that much, they will reduce their production. And there are things we're looking at how we can also engage the producers to reduce the sugar content in them. So in other countries, for example, they have brought sugar-free drinks, sugar-free this, because there's a legislation that we must reduce the sugar content in these drinks to protect the people.
You know, some people have now started demonizing sugar-free alternatives to the beverages we have. They have all these, and they claim it's worse than the one with added sugar, but well, they don't know much about it. So.
You know, there's money in this business. So you get people who, I mean, they set the system, the stage so that they will discourage people from going for one which is healthier, right? But we need to, But we need to empower the people. And I think that as individuals, as families, as churches, as groups, we must get the message down to them. So for my teacher, for example, we've written that sugar-sweetened beverages can cause type 2 diabetes. I've spoken about it already.
Yeah.
We must get people informed about it so they can take the right health decisions.
Okay, so what are the health decisions you want us to take? What should we do as a people?
So first of all, it is better to consume water and consume those things, right? I usually tell people, water is the lifestyle, what word should I use? Water sustains the body. And water is like fuel to the kidneys. If you consume water, the body gets what it needs to feel refreshed, to protect your kidneys. So the first option for me is to go for water. When you are thirsty, you don't have to be thirsty before you drink water. Drink water as frequently as possible. 3 liters, 4 liters a day is fine for you. Now, aside...
That's for an adult.
For an adult, yes.
Yeah, before someone forces their child to drink 3 liters of water, and course...
I hear you, that's okay. The other thing is that we are surrounded by fruit, right? And God is such that every region you go, there's fruit that grows in those regions. So I don't see why, for example, Ghanaians will want to import certain fruits when around us.
We don't grow strawberry.
When around us, we have banana, mango, aloe, all of those things. Let's consume those ones. Those will give you the glucose the one the body can work on. Most of them contain fibers. So the risk to your life in all the things we mentioned are less when you consume these fruits. You can choose to blend them. So if you want it to be in a liquid form, blend them. Put banana, apple. You could do banana, apple, right? Now, can we do vegetables? So
banana, apple.
Another thing,
nice.
maybe.
It will be nice.
So let's do banana pawpaw. Aha! Thank you very much. Banana pawpaw. Good. Yeah. Blend it together and eat, right? You can juice carrot, add pineapple to it. It becomes a juice.
Yeah.
Good. And I even tell people about these sobolo and those. They are very good.
Yeah.
But don't add sugar to it.
But it won't be nice.
So I think we shouldn't trust our taste buds.
Really?
We shouldn't.
Why?
Because there's a child who is born who has never taken sugar before, but they can eat porridge without sugar. Someone cannot. Why? Because he's been trained. So the taste bud has adjusted to it. When you discipline yourself, your taste buds will change. Yes.
Okay. Have you disciplined yourself anyway?
Yeah.
So we want more of the options so that we have a wide variety.
So I mentioned the fruit, which we must, and there's always fruit in season. Right now, I think banana is around. I've seen watermelon.
Watermelon is almost always around most of the time.
Yes.
It just goes for like a month or two, then it comes back.
There's pawpaw, right? So those that come in season, let's go for them and eat them. As I mentioned, we can blend them if you want to. Now, I also advocate that these drinks like I mentioned the sobolo and those ones. And now, one thing we realize that people also do natural fruit juice, but because the fruit they use are not very sweet, they add sugar to it. So usually it's better to do it yourself. But the best you can get from fruit is eat them raw, but not to, juice them or blend them, because you even lose the fibers that the body needs. So there are other options. And I saw you talking about other products you mentioned, which once you read the label and they don't have a lot of sugars in it, it becomes okay.
So we should trust the labels.
Trust the labels, because you have the Food and Drugs Authority that checks these things before they come.
Okay.
Yes, you have to read the labels.
So
I think every Ghanaian should start reading labels. We should.
Well.
Yes.
For most of the products produced here in Ghana, you can see a deficiency in their labeling, because for the products that mostly are imported, you see the amount of carbohydrates in it, the amount of sugar, total fiber, you see the total protein, total sodium. Yes, so you're able to actually make, there are apps that you can actually use to track how much of every nutrient you are taking into your, The one that I personally use is my Fitness Pal.
Okay.
It's quite good. You can use it to track all these things. But if for a lot of the products here in our country, they just write sugar, and we know that it's not just the sugar, the white sugar that we know that they're adding. They're adding other like the corn syrup, the fructose, and all those things. So why should we trust the ones here in Ghana? Because it's a bit deficient in the information they give.
So I can't speak for the FDA and those people, but it's still part of the legislation that measures that have been put in place. In other countries, there is strictly that you need to put all of those things there. And likely we are getting them also in our country. So if you go to the mall, for example, to buy anything, don't just look at the taste, but read the label and see what does it contain and will it affect me or not. But generally, if you don't read labels, then we'll be blinded because you don't know what you are drinking. But don't trust your taste buds. Don't. Because
so, for instance, if you take a carton of cocoa milk like this, this is how one of the products of cocoa milk looks like. It has the total energy, it has the sugar, carbohydrates of sugar, it has the fiber. So you know actually how much you are taking.
Yeah.
And they don't have any sugar addition.
No added sugar to
yes, and it's well labeled.
Yeah.
So it's easier for.
But I think for the start, almost all the products have labels that contains what is in it. Maybe the information on it may not be as extensive as these ones, but at least it will tell you the calories in it, the water in it, and all of those things. You will see them.
Looking at the Ghanaian products, well, we have a long way to go, but I hope we get there soon because we are dying too young.
Yeah.
We have in the consulting room, you have 30-year-olds, late 20s coming and they are hypertensive, and unfortunately, they don't even look big.
Yeah.
They are not, at least those of us on the big side, we know that we have to go for walk, we have to be active. But then these slim people, I'm not saying all slim people do that, but then somebody cannot go a day without drinking 1.5 liters of a very popular drink. There are some people that can finish the whole big bottle.
People have stocked their fridges.
Yes, that is all they.
So anytime they go, they want to get something, they just go for it.
And when I visit my friends or my friends visit me and I tell them I don't take these things, they are surprised.
That's sure.
Yeah. It leaves a certain sensation on my teeth. So that's a personal preference. But then I don't know if it happens like that.
I wish all other people will get the same sensation as you, so they cannot not take it.
Anyway,
there is this thing people say that, oh, for me, I'm slim, right?
Yes.
So I can eat those things. I can eat. We are not talking about oily food, but sometimes I can eat oily food because I'm too slim.
Yeah.
But you're not seeing what it's doing in your blood vessels. You're not seeing what it's doing in your heart muscle. So it's better to avoid those things. Someone says anything can kill a man, or something must kill a man. I say, what die be die. And I give this illustration about one of my patients. I work in a dialysis unit, and it's a patient who has 3 houses. Before he got the disease, he had cars, right? He gets kidney failure. He has to sell the houses to take care of his dialysis bills. He sells his cars. He becomes very poor. Now he has to take taxes and come. Then he dies. So he has died, not leaving the family anything, right?
Probably they're even in debt.
They're even in debt because it's expensive to go for that. Someone also gets cancer, unfortunately has to go through chemotherapy, go for these radiations and other therapies. Now go to excruciating pains, always has to take medications and all of those things. Is that how you want to end your life? Than to say, I live healthy, age 90. I think 2 days ago, I was put on a church platform, a woman had died at age 90. Very fulfilling life. So how do you want to die? And what do you want to leave behind? We must think about all of this. So it shouldn't be about you, me, if I die, I'm gone, I don't care. What about your children?
Well, a disclaimer, we are not saying that everybody that has kidney issue or everybody that has cancer or any form of long-term disease got it from living a reckless life.
Not
no.
at all.
We are just saying that if you don't watch your lifestyle, you have a higher risk of getting it. And when you get it, your outcome is worse than people that have actually gotten it from just their genes or something else other than the lifestyle.
But you realize that all literature suggests that lifestyle modification, even if you have the genes, can save you from getting those. So we need to put emphasis on people having the right lifestyle, which includes what we are talking about right now.
I understand that, but you know, sometimes there can be confusion. Maybe somebody has somebody with kidney issue in the house, and they will think that it's because
you consume those things.
Yes, it's just that this. We are saying it can cause it, but we are not saying that it is that caused it.
That caused it. Yes.
You can never know until you are the person in question, because sometimes people come to my consulting room and when you talk to them about their alcohol consumption, for instance, they take it so much. So when you tell them to go and screen for the diseases that can come about from alcohol consumption, then they draw back, because they know that if you go and check, you definitely find something, and they would rather not know and be living with it.
But that's even dangerous. If you don't want to know, then because better, and by God's grace, healthcare, medical care has advanced. So even when things are difficult, we can still sustain you. We can take care of you. So it's better you know. But we are trying to say that lifestyle, and one thing is that if you do something over and over again, it becomes difficult to break. So let's start now. And you can take a decision to stop at any time. Someone says, for me, I can't, let me reduce it gradually. So I told a friend that if one way to reduce your consumption is, if you to take a full bottle now, just take half, dilute it with water, right? So in a way, you are reducing how much you like. So if you have consumed this full of the soft drink, you are doing half with water. So the rest half, the other half, you won't consume that day.
It won't be sweet for them again.
Yeah, but you see, we can't trust our taste. But someone said, "Ade de kumokwasia." If you think that are very sweet, can kill the foolish person, because the foolish person will keep on drinking, eating them because it's sweet. But if you think, so ask yourself, everything I'm putting inside my body, what is its benefit to me? Medicine should be your food, and food your medicine. So if you are putting this food in your body, ask yourself, what will the body get out of this? It's not about just putting things into your mouth. So I want to encourage parents, start from now. It doesn't show that you don't love your child if you don't give the child those drinks. I've seen children cry for so many soft drinks, and parents say, let me give it so he keep quiet. The child will cry, will never die. Because if you give to the child now knows, if I cry, I'll get. He doesn't know that by giving him these drinks over and over again, you're increasing the child's risk for all the things you've mentioned. And so, do you want to leave your child having childhood diabetes? You want to leave your child with dental problems? You want to leave your child with other medical problems, including cardiovascular diseases, because you showed them love, which I will not call love, because it was just worrying you gave the child those drinks, but the effect is dire. There are schools that have, and there's a study one of our professors did, where if you take all the basic schools in Greater Accra, over 56% of the things they sell are processed foods, sugary drinks, right? Sugar-filled biscuits, toffees. That's what they sell in those schools.
Yeah.
There are very few schools that you get them selling fruit. And even the fruit, they will not buy because they think it's expensive. But it's not expensive. You don't need to eat a whole bunch of banana to get the nutrients you need. 2-3 fingers of bananas, you can get the nutrients you need for the day. Orange, you don't have to take 15 or 20. Just get one orange a day. You get the vitamins you need. So it's not very expensive. And lastly, before you check how expensive it is, if you get sick, the loss to you is not only about the physical loss, but financial loss. Now, how much will you spend traveling from your home to the hospital? How much will you spend waiting in the queue? Because remember, if you're not sick and you're not in the queue, you go where get some money. How much do you spend on your labs? How much do you spend on your medication? How much do you pay for consulting, right? And then when you become a burden to your family, someone must go to work, but he must stay home and take care of you. That person is losing money. So if there's a study that by the World Bank that says that in US, for example, trillions of dollars are lost to time, are lost due to time we spend within our hospitals. So it's not only about the illness you're having, but its effects on you. Even the health workers, now they're getting fatigued because people are, almost every hospital is filled.
Yeah.
But will you imagine where a situation where people are really not getting sick and you go to work, you doctor, you consult just 5 people a day.
Oh, heaven.
But now people, there was a day I went to my hospital and 3 a.m. someone was in the queue because if he doesn't come at 3 a.m., he won't be seen that day.
Hey, why?
Because a lot of people are coming to the OPD clinic and people pay a lot of money to go see a consultant in this private place, all because they didn't do certain things right. And I agree with you, the first point to me, not all of them are due to lifestyle, but lifestyle contributes to all of these things, yes.
Okay. All right, so what is A4H doing? You've mentioned the floats that you'll be going for. What are some, if you can give us instances of things you've done and what you'll be doing, some examples too.
So from the beginning of the year, we have been working to achieve 2 things, to create awareness. And we said we can get the stakeholders to agree with us to have a tax on it. And we first of all had the academia part led by the University of Ghana to do research. So now we have the local evidence that shows that locally in this country, the consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages have caused this particular problem that is there. We've also done what we call legal feasibility studies to see how, if in case we want to have a tax component on it, what does the law say and all of those things. Then the various partners, in Ghana Public Health Association, where I belong to, we have done virtual webinars to educate people. We have nutritionists, doctors from the University of Ghana speak to us about the effect of these things on our, some of the things I mentioned. I'm not a nutritionist, but there are things that they mentioned in the course of the discussions we had. We had float and awareness creation in Tamale, that was in July. We were in Kumasi in September, and we are in Accra this November. We have the other institutions like Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics doing float in the Volta region. They've done a lot of radio and TV advocacies to create awareness on that. Ghana NCD Alliance, which one of the partners that we are partnering, because you see, NCDs and sugar-sweetened beverages go together. If you consume more of these,
what do you mean?
non-communicable diseases.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So they are also on board to help. And there was a gentleman who attended one of the training sessions we did for the journalists. He shared his story. It was so sad. Maybe one day we'll get him to share the story one day. When he was very active in the University of Ghana, contested with so many leadership positions, and he gets diabetes, and he gets diabetic ulcer, and he almost died. Now he's lost, if you check his story, he's lost all the toes due to the ulcer from the diabetes. And he says that if he had known, he would have had a better lifestyle. So we don't want to have more of people like him. So we are telling you, avoid these things. Don't give them to your children. Now, particularly about children, because if you start with the children, it will be difficult to break.
So I was going to, no, I was. My very next question, have you gone to any of these schools?
Yes.
The children, you are talking about children. Yes, now a lot of the children around are enlightened. Yes, so you can have some of these grown-up conversations with them.
Yeah.
Are you going to these primary schools and these junior high schools especially, and the senior high schools, since we have a lot of our children at those places during the day?
So we've had discussion with the senior high schools. When we went to Kumasi, I was at Anglican Senior High School, we've done that. And for junior high school, we haven't done a lot of those things. And it's not a project we are ending now. We'll end like middle next year, around mid-April. So there are a lot of things that we are doing. But we think that if parents decide to make the right choices for their children, these children don't have a choice. So for example, if I decide I won't give my child, in the house he won't get it. If he goes to church and they're sharing it, he won't get it. If he goes to school, they know my child doesn't take those things. he will not go there and buy it.
You don't know these children. I think you need. I think maybe you should add the children as points too, because some of these, not some of these, the children that are coming up now, when you talk to them and you tell them why they shouldn't do something, and you show them vivid examples like, this is what has happened to this person.
Yeah.
This is what can happen to you.
Yeah.
You show them the imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to scare them.
I agree.
Just to educate them.
I've had a session like that at
Yes.
church before. I gave a presentation to the children ministries and I showed them videos of the effect. And I've been told there's been massive change in behavior.
Yeah.
Now when somebody's celebrating their birthday,
Yeah,
they don't
you bring
they don't bring those things
they'll tell you, Mommy, if you send it, my friends will not take it. So the mother will look for healthier options.
Someone told me, now the cake that bring is not nice. So like after I gave that presentation, I think they are responding well to it. I'm
so
happy about it.
That's a perspective I think
Yeah.
A4H should also hone in on, because if the kids know, sometimes, see, parents will use, I don't have time. That is what is readily available.
Right.
Yes, we the adults too, we are very stubborn.
Yeah.
So we might have heard it, but that's what is available. But then if that is what is available and you are giving it to the child and the child is rejecting it, like how they reject the healthier options, you won't go and buy it again.
And I'll talk about parents too, because if parents don't drink, they will not buy. If you come to my fridge and those things are not there.
You know, I know a couple that they don't drink it, but they so they will just buy it for the child.
But the child will not die from crying.
They don't know that.
And see, maybe they should visit the hospital. And I just say people should start visiting hospitals and see when your child is sick, the stress the child goes through and what you go through, then it's better you don't give. Let him cry now and stop. That for him to get sick, where you have to now take him to the hospitals and pay all of those money you need to pay. For me, people are spending a lot in the hospitals, which they could have saved that money. If you change our lifestyle, drink water. People don't drink water. They don't. And someone will choose.
People say that water doesn't taste nice.
Yeah, but
water is not supposed to have a taste.
So why are they adding sugar to water now to have sweetened water? Why? That's why. Because of the taste.
I ever tried that. I've tried all the different ones around it. It's just essence. They claim there's lime or lemon inside. It's just some chemical and just sugar. And the other day I was having a conversation. I wanted to buy water and my friend bought that type.
Water.
And I said, but this one has sugar. You know I don't take sugar. Yeah. I think it's just I made it a conscious part of me. The sweetener I take is stevia or erythritol. Yeah, those, it's not so common.
Someone tells me that even those ones, you can do without them.
Yeah, I don't take it as often, but if I want to, I go for the healthier option. So I told the person there's sugar in this water. He said no, it's just the lime, and so they've actually written the sugar on it. And it's so small.
Yeah.
So even if you say that you are going to sue them for giving you sugar, they've written it on
why
it.
You see them because you saw it and you bought it.
But it's so small.
My greatest worry is why sweeten water? Water is not supposed to be sweet. No. So why will you sweeten water? So the ones you sweeten, it doesn't become the water we know. So people are now drinking a lot of these.
They drink, and they buy it a lot. They would rather buy that one than buy normal water.
It's not healthy.
What are your concluding words to us? We just have about 5 minutes before we end.
So first of all, I think Hope TV has done well by giving us a platform, and I'm hoping that from now, I don't know how you take it, but we need to ensure that we do a lot of advocacy on this. And if anytime you have your consulting room, talk to people, go to your hospitals, talk to them about it, because the benefit will not only be to them, but to the whole nation. We are in a country where people attitude towards work is not even good. Now we are adding sickness to it. So instead of going to work, they are sick. If you go to hospitals, they are always crowded. Why? Because of lifestyle. We are seeing that if you change that lifestyle and adopt healthier lifestyle, you eat well, have your breakfast, lunch, dinner the right way, get the food balance, avoid these sugary drinks that adds excess calories to your food, which gives so many problems, eye problems. Even I didn't even mention about heart-related issues and even stroke, which can all be linked to the consumption of these sugar-sweetened beverages, obesity and overweight, diabetes, fertility problems. We can live quality lives. So we want to say that people must hear us, people must understand us, people must adopt healthier options. And to those who produce these things, see how you can do reformulation, reduce the sugar content in them, and still maintain the taste. And these things are all just for pleasure. If you can control yourself, you should, so that you can live longer than to indulge in pleasure and later at the end suffer for it.
Right. Thank you very much, Makion,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Amwa. I actually didn't even know you were called Amwa until today. So thank you very much for coming here and giving us all this information about sugar-sweetened beverages and its effects on our body.
Yeah.
Yes, we hope that those watching at home, either on Facebook or multi-TV or wherever you're watching us from, you've gotten your bits from it. So go and buy cocoa drink, cocoa milk instead of the ones with the sugar. Yes, because this one is sugar-free. It's lactose-free. So for those of you who have lactose intolerance, you can also take it. And just a quick reminder before we bring the show to an end. Pella Fest is coming on the 31st of December this year. It's for that night you have almost all the a cappella groups that you've missed converging at the National Theatre, and we have some invited guests like the Pets That Praise, Gifty Dia, Mark and Neem, Perez Music, Freedom from Fear Choir, and a whole lot. Plus the a cappella groups, you have the Manifest, Vocal Part, Note 6, all of them. Every group that you can think of is coming. We have Black Capella to come in. Yes, so do well to get your tickets. So as I said, we have the early bird tickets. It's for anybody that makes the purchase in November. We have the 70 cedis ticket. That's for the regular single ticket. We have the 300 cedis ticket for a family of 5. And we have the 150 cedis tickets for the VIP. You can even buy like 2 VIP tickets and dash me one. Nothing will happen. So please do well to contact the Studios of Hope channel so that you can get your tickets and be present for the event. Do well to join us every week on Monday at 8 p.m. in the consulting room as we bring you all these thought-provoking health discussions so that you can make better health options for yourself. So I hope the week goes well for all of us. Have a nice evening.